At 26, he captured Riyadh. He established the rule of Sharia law and unified his country. He became the guardian of the holy places of Islam. His name was AbdulAziz. In less than 30 years, he had united almost the whole of Arabia. Now he had to build a nation. On the 23rd of September 1932, a new nation was proclaimed. It would be called the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But it was a poor land with few resources. The challenge facing the king, AbdulAziz bin Abdul Rahman Al Saud, was to unite its various peoples and transform them into a modern nation under Islam. Two years before, AbdulAziz had completed the unification of the kingdom. In bringing stability to the region, King AbdulAziz followed a specific policy towards the local leaders.
He pardoned all his rivals and asked them to join him. He gave them very high-ranking positions, and he used to say, out of appreciation, their devotion to their previous king is something that makes me very happy. If I could win those people, they will be devoted to me too.
In this way, most of the Sharif staff in Hijaz joined AbdulAziz. He was able to coexist with his previous enemies. This practice stems from one basic factor of leadership in the life of AbdulAziz: his perfect mind and instinct.
AbdulAziz's first priority was to restore order in the Hijaz. In the past, there had been much insecurity. Sometimes people just disappeared.
My friend went missing the first day, the second day, and the third day. And then we discovered that the Bedouins had stolen him. He was absent for 2 years, and when he came back to us, he had a very dark skin. He didn't know where he'd been taken. He said, "They took me somewhere in the mountains. All I did was use a bucket to draw water and water the crops." This is how insecure Jeddah was. Mecca, Taif, and other places were all the same.
The insecurity even threatened the annual pilgrimage. The Hajj was not only a sacred duty for Muslims, it was a mainstay of Hijazi prosperity. And yet even the pilgrims were being plundered. As a devout Muslim and a ruler, it was vital for AbdulAziz to restore order. He took action.
في كل بلد وضع على هذا وفي كانت دوريات بالطبع.
In each town, he had his forces constantly patrolling pilgrimage roads and other roads, so that no one felt any problem. The murderer was punished by execution. The thief had his hand chopped off. The law of Sharia was applied. People were afraid to commit any crime they could be punished for.
With the restoration of security, the pilgrims returned. A former chief pilot of the port of Jeddah, Muhammad Salama, remembers how busy it suddenly became as boatloads arrived from around the globe.
In the first year, we had 10,000 pilgrims. In the second year, there were 120,000 pilgrims coming from Java alone. At that time, all those who came from the Far East were considered to be coming from Java. We had 120,000 pilgrims, and from India we had 35,000. There were about 2, 3 or 4 ships a day loaded with pilgrims.
The restoration of security was the foundation of what was to come. When AbdulAziz proclaimed the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it meant the unification of all parts of the kingdom into a single sovereign state. From now on, the diverse peoples of the kingdom would be citizens of one country. The nomads and the farmers, the craftsmen and the traders, people from east, west, north and south.
The importance of this is that he finally united all the regions which were different in terms of their bloodlines, dialects, education, customs and traditions. He wanted them not only to be united regions, but also to be united peoples. People really wanted that. They found that the more these regions were bound together, the more they were truly united.
A key element in binding the kingdom together was the use of modern communications. Over so vast an area, they were essential. Every governor's palace was equipped with a wireless room. Even in the desert, AbdulAziz never went far from the wireless set. Ahmed al-Sakr was one of his wireless operators.
He said to me, "Where did you take the telegraph?" I said, "I took it over there." He asked, "Why and who ordered you to do so?" I said, "Nobody, but I was concerned about you because of the noise. It has a very loud and disturbing sound and you will not be able to sleep." He said, "Don't you know that I cannot sleep without listening to the noise of the engine?" He said, "Wherever I go, install the machine and put your wireless nearby. As for the generator, put it further away."
King AbdulAziz seldom slept before receiving news via cable from emirs throughout the kingdom, stating that nothing had happened in the previous 24 hours that needed to be reported to him. He never postponed today's work until tomorrow.
The king was careful to monitor news from outside the kingdom as well.